Want to achieve your dream goal? Listen to the tips from the guy who made it happen to himself. I dropped 70 pounds going from a 4X to a 1X in 4 years. I went from 10K to 6 figures without a college degree. You too can get the goals you set. It's time to live your best life now. I'm your host, Tony Woodall, and welcome to Goal Getting Podcast. Hi, Goal Getters. Tony here, and I really want to thank you for being with me today for this episode. You know, this is our 39th weekly episode of Goal Getting Podcast. It's also the day before Thanksgiving here in the United States. I thankfully have a 4-day weekend coming up, and my department at work doesn't have to work on Thursday or Friday, so I will be taking those days off, and we also have the usual Saturday and Sunday off, so this is going to be a great break from work. Not that I need a break, because right now I really do enjoy what I'm doing, and I like work. I love my job now, and I'm very thankful and grateful for it. And if you want to learn more about the Thanksgiving holiday and why it's celebrated here in the United States, you can Google it, because this episode is not about the holiday itself, but about the attitude that I believe we should have during this time of celebration. That's why I've titled this episode, Gratitude is an Attitude. To me, I believe it is time for having gratitude. To me, gratitude is an attitude. And I believe that I should have the attitude of being grateful for the things that I have, whether it be physical, material possessions, health, a sound mind, everything, including life. And having gratitude is one thing that will set us up for leading a rich life, a life of significance, a life of purpose. So I'm going to reflect on some things today that I'm grateful for this year and some that I'm always grateful for. I guess one of the main things that I'm grateful for is you, for listening to my podcast. If you didn't come to listen, I would have no reason for doing this show. I'd be sitting out here talking to myself, which I did before, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But my goal is, in starting Goal Getting Podcast, was to be able to share the things that I had learned about setting goals effectively so that we can change our subconscious mind into a goal-getting machine. And I've learned through training in hypnosis and hypnotherapy various techniques that can be used to reprogram a subconscious mind that has a limiting, goal-stifling beliefs into a mind that will allow you to draw success and achievements to you. So I'm grateful for that and the ability to do that on the podcast, and I'm grateful for you to be a listener, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. I'm also grateful for the additional listeners that started listening to the podcast after I started doing the goal-getting quote of the day on July 1st. I think we're probably at approximately 140 or so episodes currently on our quote of the day, and that's just amazing. I never expected or didn't really plan on it. It was more of a test when I got started to see how it would turn out, and I wasn't sure if people would even like that kind of a format. And like I said, I think we just did yesterday 140 episodes of that. So it's going very well, and I'm really grateful for all of you that are listening to the quote of the day every day, and except for Wednesdays now. But I started doing it every day, but I stopped doing it on Wednesdays because I really thought I didn't want to compete with my own self or the guests that I have on the show on Wednesdays, so I stopped doing it on Wednesdays. But I am grateful for all of you who joined us because of the quotes, and I really thank you for coming out and listening to not just the quotes, but going back and listening to the other episodes that we had done. It's just been an amazing reception that I wasn't really expecting, but I am grateful for, and I want to thank you for that. So I know that I'm inspired by quotes that I hear or read, and wanted to share those when I started this to help inspire or keep you motivated. And I felt that talking about these quotes and what they mean to me and how they inspire or affect me might help other people listen. And apparently it's been doing that. So I just really appreciate you coming out and listening. Every, time you get an opportunity to do that, it's just amazing to me that you keep coming back. So I do appreciate that. I also hope that if you have any ideas, you'll give me some feedback. Let me know how I can improve the show for you going forward. When I started the podcast on my birthday in February of this year, I hoped it would do well. I made it into the iTunes New and Noteworthy and was actually able to make it into the top 10 in a couple of the categories that I was listed in. And I was just ecstatic with that. And after the usual 8 weeks on New and Noteworthy, like I was told, my number of listeners seemed to drop, which is normal. And I started thinking about how to reach a greater audience and get the information out about, the goal-getting program that I had. And so I started the quote of the day on July 1st, and it's been great, as I said. And, listeners like you loved it, and my audience grew, and I was incredibly happy. I'm still very happy. I think, that just everybody, the amount of people that listen, has just been great. So thank you again. I am so grateful for all of you, and I'm glad that I can help more people this way. So thank you all for listening to the show. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I'm grateful for this year. And, I really appreciate you listening. If you listen to this, I just want you to start thinking about what you're grateful for, because it is a time for us to, as we get to the end of the year, to start thinking about what we've done all year, not only on our goals and how we're setting our goals, have we achieved those goals? We're not going to really talk about that. I just really want to talk about being grateful. One of my good friends, Bo Henderson, is the founder of The Rich Life. He's the Rich Life guy, and you can go back and listen to one of his episodes that we did. But Bo really talks about being grateful frequently, and we really have to think about that. And I just want to talk about some of the things that I'm grateful for today to give you an idea of how blessed I've been this year, and the people and or things that I have in my life that have been very helpful to me this year. So I'm grateful, number one, for the opportunity that I have in this country, in the United States, to be able to do things like this podcast. There are many countries that won't allow you to do this sort of thing. You can't even get internet in to some of the countries. And, I'm just amazed that we still have the freedoms that we have here in the United States to be able to do these sort of things, and, it's just, we hear about things in the world, in some other parts of the world that are going on. It kind of causes us to really feel how grateful we are for the opportunities that we have in this country. So I am grateful for that. I'm also grateful that I started taking classes in marketing at UC Berkeley Extension in 2013. Had I not started that program, I would not have taken the social media marketing course taught by Michael Brito in 2014. And that is what propelled me into what I'm doing now and into my new career that I have. So, I'm grateful for Michael Brito, and he's, grown to be a good friend and very helpful. Michael is just one of the top people in social media, and the things and his teaching style and the information that he shared lit a new fire in my belly, a new passion for social media marketing. And I was able to, overhear in the class a couple fellow students behind me one day talking about listening to podcasts, and that they were finding them on iTunes. And if you listen to some of the other episodes I've talked about, that I did my first podcast in 2004 and 2005. And I stopped after about 6 months because I had just started doing it for fun, because I had heard some other podcasts. I thought, well, I could do that. That's pretty cool. And I knew one day that it would be a big thing, but, I just didn't know when, and I just got busy with other goals and other priorities in life. But I did enjoy podcasting back at that time. But hearing these guys talk about podcasts and how that's the only thing they listen to these days, I thought, man, and I saw what was on iTunes that, it was a platform for doing this, that I had to do it. So I started Goal Getting Podcast. I had a program that I had been teaching as a loan officer to realtors and to other people, and that I had come up with over the years. I just didn't have the method to do it. And I'd started writing my book, 9 Steps to Successful Goal Achievement, which is on iTunes now, or on Amazon now. And I never finished it, but, going through this class, it kind of motivated me to go out there and do the things that I needed to do. And this, I'm grateful for Michael Brito, because he's the one who got that fire relit in me, and I started doing a lot. And that was one of the reasons why I do the Goal Getting Quote of the Day, is I heard this quote about that same time from Ernest Hemingway. who said, never mistake motion for action. And it propelled me to be action-oriented and to start doing the things that I had been thinking about doing, one being starting a podcast and being able to get my program out there, Goal Getting, to be able to teach people and share that information. So that helped me get to where I am today in this area and in my social media. Learning what I did with Michael Brito helped me get the job that I now have that I'm very happy at. So anyway, I'm grateful for Michael. Thank you very much. I hope you're listening to this and will one day know that I'm very grateful for you. So now this is getting into a longer episode than I really wanted to today because I really have so much to be grateful for. It's been a phenomenal year. And I'm really excited about the changes that I've had in my life and the things that have happened. But I'm also very grateful that I have two beautiful daughters that have grown from my little girls to intelligent, compassionate, healthy, and very good women. I'm very proud of them for all that they've accomplished in life and for what they continue to do. I'm also grateful that I now have a wonderful son-in-law. After my oldest daughter got married this year, walking my daughter down the aisle was a highlight of my life. And I'm grateful for a loving wife that I've been married to for over 28 years that continues to put up with me and still love me. That's a big thing, because I'm not the easiest person to live with. And, I'm grateful for her. I'm also grateful for a loving family. I have a great family, both, my immediate family, my adopted family, or my married family, my wife's family, and very grateful for them. I'm also grateful for my sister, who's been beating cancer. Tried to take her away from us, but she's been fighting it and been doing very well, and we will do everything we can to stop it from taking her. But I'm very grateful for her. She's a big inspiration for me as well. I'm also grateful for my health, and it isn't the best, and I don't take care of myself the way that I should, but I am grateful that I have the ability to take care of myself and to do the things that I need to do to correct the things that I do wrong. So I will be working on that. One of my health issues is being overweight, and I've got to work on that, which is my being overweight for many years has led to type 2 diabetes. So I have to work on my weight going forward this year. So I'm probably going to be making some changes to the podcast as we go, just because I have to start focusing on that. But we'll talk about that later and, in another episode. But because today I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful for the company that I work for and the people that I work with. The company and the people saw the potential in me to allow me to do a complete career change into an area that I love, and now I'm grateful to have the ability to do work that I enjoy and to get paid well for it. It was not something that I had expected. It was really an accidental thing. I actually had another job offer that I could have taken, but when they gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing now, which is what I wanted to get into in the next year or two, it was a no-brainer in my opinion. So I took the job, and I'm very grateful for that. So I work for a great company who cares about their employees and also cares about their customer, which is very important to me. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity that I have. I just celebrated my 5th year of working for that company. And again, I'm very grateful for them. Now, I'm really grateful for this year because it's been a great year. There were some tough times where I really thought things were not heading where I wanted, and I wanted to change. So I'm grateful for the people that I've been hanging around in my podcasting and entrepreneurial communities that have supported me. One of those that I'm grateful for is Joel Boggess. You can check Joel Boggess on his Relaunch podcast. Go out and listen to Joel. He's an excellent podcaster. He's got a great message, and I highly recommend that. But he saw that I was fighting the imposter syndrome at the beginning of the year, and, we were on a call, and he told me that I really needed to just kick that guy out of my life, out of my house, and not listen to him anymore. And because of that, I was able to start my podcast and get it going. And if it hadn't have been for Joel, I probably still wouldn't have started because I wouldn't think I was good enough. So I really am grateful for Joel for kicking me in the pants and helping me kick the imposter syndrome out. We all fight the imposter syndrome. If you do, I know your battles. I know what it's like. You can overcome it. Don't listen to the imposter. Kick them out of your house and get moving with your goals and what you have to do, because that's what we have to do. Now, I also want to talk about one other person that I'm grateful for, and that's one of my mentors in my life, Tom Matthews. Tom, he helped me as a mentor when I was starting networking as an entrepreneur and as a loan officer. Tom taught me much about how to meet and treat people. He helped guide me in my coffee news business when I started my franchise that I had for coffee news, and started my marketing and advertising career. It's what got me interested in that line of work and in marketing and in advertising. Tom informed me recently that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer with a limited time left this year, according to his doctors. So please pray for Tom and his family. My mom passed away from the same cancer in 2012, and I'm grateful for life because of these great people. They've helped me. And, I'm grateful that I'm still healthy. So pray for Tom and his family. So I'm grateful for so much this year and every year, to be honest. And, as you listen to this, I could go on, but I really just wanted to thank you for being a listener and for joining us on the show. And if you are listening to this, please start think about what you have to be grateful this year. Grateful for this year, because gratitude is an attitude, and that's one of the best attitudes you can have, just like a positive attitude, or, having an attitude of excitement and entrepreneurial attitude. An attitude of gratitude is one of the best, and it is one that will help you enjoy life. It will help you enjoy the journey as well as the destinations. We all have much to be grateful for, so think about that this week and every week throughout the year. I want to thank you again for listening today and every day, and I have a few more great guests to introduce you to this year. So stay tuned on Wednesdays for our weekly goal-getting podcast, where I or one of our expert guests share tips, strategies, and inspiration on how to get the goals you set. Goal-getters, have a great holiday season this year, and again, I really, really thank you for being a listener, for showing up and listening to my podcast. You have so many great podcasts to listen to, and I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you listening to mine. Today's been a special day, and again, I appreciate you listening to my gratitude that I'm pouring out, and I hope you have some great things that you're thankful for this year, that you're grateful for. I would love to hear what you're grateful for this year. If you would go to our show notes page, goalgettingpodcast.com/gratitude. It's goalgettingpodcast.com/gratitude. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about the show, but more so, I really want to know what you're grateful for this year. Tell me some of the things that have been in your life that you're grateful for. Thank you. Go out today and make it a great day.